This is a battle that's been playing out in the States for the past 3 or 4 years, where licensed cannabis companies who hold the kind of licenses that I had, were feeling competition, a lot of heat from the hemp sector, because the hemp sector wasn't bound by all the rules, didn't have to pay all the taxes of the licensed cannabis sector. And so you could buy hemp flowers in smoke shops, in convenience stores, in gas stations, everywhere.
They deliver to you now too, and all across all states. It's crazy.
And they were half the price of the flowers that were in the licensed dispensaries.
It's almost like it's unfair to the licensed ones, right?
Well, you got to feel for both of these folks, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the licensed sector, and I had to deal with people who were competing with me in ways where they weren't regulated and they weren't taxed the same way I was, and it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. You had to make payroll, you had to take care of everybody, and it was challenging. So I totally feel the folks in the limited license space who were feeling the squeeze.
Yeah.
I also understand the perspective of the folks on the hemp side, because, when we started this movement, we didn't envision that cannabis was going to be kept behind the walls of these dispensaries that were owned by, huge multi-state organizations.
Right.
We didn't envision that we were going to be burdened with ridiculous regulations and huge taxation. What we believed in was largely what the hemp industry achieved, right? We wanted cannabis to be available every place that alcohol was available.
Just accessible,
affordable, and that was our vision. And so for me, I feel both of these sectors, right? And then of course there's a third sector here, and that's the legacy sector. The folks who have been growing and smuggling and selling cannabis since before it was made illegal in 1937, and are still doing it today. And they're not burdened with taxation. They're not burdened with regulation of any kind. And so usually the best deals and the best weed in this country are found in the legacy market. Weed in the dispensaries costs twice as much as weed on the street, and it's half the quality. So the only people who buy weed in legal dispensaries in California are people who have so much money, they don't care what they pay. Or people who are coming in from out of town who don't know how to access the legacy market, or people who are so clueless they can't figure out how to buy weed from their next door neighbors on either side of them, right?
Yeah.
Most people who are serious cannabis consumers in California buy from the legacy market, and that's true all across the country. Missouri is a very interesting state, right? Because in Missouri, they have both licensed cannabis dispensaries and hemp shops all over the place.
Both?
Both. And so wherever I go, I always try and find the young kids who are young kids like me who just love weed so much, they're smoking all the time, they're the heaviest consumers. And I sit down with them and I'm like, okay, so where do you buy your weed? And it might take them a little while to figure out that I'm cool, but eventually it's like, well, I buy it from my friend. He gets a box from California every month.
Wow.